2, 1, and we're recording. All right, everybody, this is Open Game, episode 8. Others of the block in the house. We got very special guests today, and I will let everybody go around and do a quick big up introduction. Today, we're going to be focusing on subjects from the amazing, check it out, documentary Fire on the Hill on Amazon Prime. You can check that out right now. So let's go around, everybody introduce themselves. Let's start with Shay Mack.
Yeah, that's me. Hi, everybody. Well, most of you know me. I'm Shay Mack. Super excited about this particular this podcast today. Super excited to get to know you, gentlemen. I saw the documentary. I have tons of questions and a lot of admiration for you as well.
All right, next, let's go with Scribe.
Hey, folks, what's happening? My name is Scribe, and we represent EOB, Elders of the Block. This is the organization. Let's give a special thanks to Lex for putting this on for us. He's the man in charge. And we got the crew in the house today. Everybody's pretty much here, present. Special guest, just like always, Ghuan Featherstone. Thanks for coming through, my friend. We're gonna finish the introductions and get busy. We got Mr. Wilson over there.
Oh, what's happening, y'all? Unkerm, aka Mr. Wilson, your favorite teacher. And I'm just here to enjoy, I heard about what you brothers are doing. And, as Shay Mack said, I got hella questions, hella admiration. It's something that, a lot of people of color, especially people of color who are born in an urban area, don't know nothing about. And, I want to get down and talk about that.
All right, we got Poise. All poised and ready to go?
Poise. What's up, y'all? Yeah, man. This is definitely going to be a great show. I'm very honored to have these brothers on this show, man. We're elders of the block, and pretty much everyone on this show are community activists, and we put it in, and we care about people. And so this is really beautiful, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people know about, in LA. The Black Cowboy, movement and the lifestyle and the culture. I know a little bit about it, but I didn't know how deep it really ran. So I'm honored to have all you brothers here today, and the Queen, of course. And I'm ready to just really enjoy the show. So thanks for coming, and thanks for giving us y'all time and attention. Appreciate you.
Right, and next we got much love. We got Lewis in the house. What's up, Lewis? Why don't you speak to the crowd?
Hey. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Cool. My name's Louis. I'm over here in San Diego, California. And, I wanted to send my, appreciation to you guys and allow me to, come on to this podcast and listen to what everyone has to say. But I checked out the documentary. It was dope. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoy, film work and people's stories. And the story of humanity and the story of, people's cultures. So I'm just grateful for being here. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. So we're going to jump right into it. So we're going to introduce Ghuan right now. And if anybody who hasn't seen the documentary needs to check out, he played an integral part in this, not only in this documentary, but in the reality of equestrian life in South Central LA, California. So what we would love to do, Ghuan, that we're so lucky to have you here, is maybe get into a few questions and just see what's going on with you and in the response to the documentary as well, and just what's going on with you in life in general. We have a few questions lined up. One of the first things being, what is an equestrian? What is the difference between an equestrian and a cowboy in South Central Los Angeles?
So now, really, there is no difference, between an equestrian and a cowboy other than the title. So equestrians are people that fall in love with horses, and they learn everything about the horse. They learn how to groom the horse, take care of the horse, the anatomy of the horse, and how to ride the horse. And then they learn how to do different events with the horse. Maybe it may be hunter jumper or roping or whatever they go off up into as an equestrian. And a cowboy is pretty much the same thing. The only thing is we just don't put the fancy word to it. But we gotta learn the horse. We gotta work with the horse, get trust with the horse. We gotta do what we do on the horse. Cowboys might get out there and rodeo with the horse. They might ride it just for leisure, or they might actually do a different sport, with the horse. But it's pretty much all the same. It's just the terminology that you use to actually describe that person that's dealing with that horse.
That's an amazing answer. And also just to mention that not only the documentary is amazing just in its subject matter, but it's beautifully shot. Yes. Almost to the point where the first 10, 15 minutes, you don't even know if you're watching a feature film or a documentary. And it took actually like good 10, 15 minutes into it to realize, oh, this is real life. It was just incredibly well done. And, including that, it's amazing to think just the traffic in LA alone, that maybe you guys are really onto something. I'm sure we all thought about that too. Just bypassing just cars stuck on the side of the road and people who just jaws are dropped, it's amazing. But it's interesting too, because another question that comes up is whether or not, like, how this kind of all began. Like, do you have a history of cowboy culture within or outside the Hill? Like, what's the origins kind of that?
The origins of the Hill, or the origins of me,
of you specifically? Like, how'd you get into this?
Oh, okay. Well, that's easy, because I was always a cowboy at heart. As a kid, I loved cowboys. People. I remember being a kid, and then they used to have the Fruit of the Looms, and then you have the different superheroes, the Supermans, and you have the Spider-Mans, you had all of that. The Hulk, right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I never really wanted any of that, because my superhero was the Lone Ranger. And they didn't have any Lone Ranger draws, so I didn't want no underrules. No, that's real talk. My mom was like, I want no underrules. These are nice. No, I mean, my man was the Lone Ranger. So, but I never rode a horse though as a child. I just saw it in the movies. I used to watch the old John Wayne movies, and then the Lone Ranger movies, and the Clint Eastwood movies, and just watch all these old cowboy movies and wishing that I could be like the cowboy. And when I became an adult, I never really thought about actually going back to that, reverting back to my childhood hero. I went to the military, I lived overseas for a while, did all kind of other stuff. But I came back to the United States, and I had an ex-girlfriend whose family members were cowboys. And she happened to know me as a child. We went to high school together. And she was like, I remember you used to wear those cowboy boots, and my family, they real cowboys. I'm like, real cowboys? What they live in Texas or something? Like, no, they're down the street. They over. And I couldn't believe it. And this place was on 131st and Figueroa. Took me down there. I got to see all these black folks on these horses, and it was just amazing to me. And I didn't know how to ride no horse, and they wouldn't teach me either. They told me I had to clean the stalls and clean the horses and all that stuff before they would actually teach me how to ride that horse. And this is in 1999, and I've been riding ever since, man. I went down there. I used to clean the horses, clean the stalls, do what I could do to just ride the horse. And when I got on that horse's back, it kind of released something inside of me. It was like, I don't know if it's because my lifelong desire was to be like the Lone Ranger and live that type of life, or if it was just what the horses did, hopping on his back. And later on, I realized that pretty much it was just what the horse did, hopping on his back, because when you hop on that horse's back and you ride that horse through the city, or you ride him through the woods, wherever you're riding, but just to know that you own a living, breathing animal that thinks and has its own will, and you are actually on his back, it just relieves you of any type of thought you might have had before hopping on that horse's back, the only thing you can concentrate on is not falling off that horse's back. You feel me? So I don't care about what problem you might have had.
Yeah.
You don't have that problem on that horse's back because you don't want to fall off that horse's back. You feel me? So
okay.
Just help me.
Especially if you're not wearing a helmet.
Yeah, hard cowboy hat. Hey, Ghuan, I got a question for you on this subject right now. Now that we know that you got into that, so that was after the military, and you started to go clean stables and pay your dues. Were you taught how to interact with the horse? You know, like there's a spiritual thing that takes place, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Were you taught that? Were you given that information?
No, I wasn't taught that or given that information. Or no, I mean, you can get taught that and given that information if you're in that environment where the equine setting, that's where you got the equine and the cowboy. So the equine is going to teach you about the horse. They're going to tell you, oh, this right here is the wither. Oh, this is the hoof. They're going to teach you, try to train you that way with a curriculum to get you to know the horse. Cowboys gonna put you on that wild, that wild animal. And they're gonna say, okay, let me see what you can do. Oh, you want to ride it? Ride it. Okay, you put your leg here, you put it there, and hold on to this and see what happens and see how you respond. That's pretty much how I was trained. They told me, okay, this is a saddle, this is a stirrup, put your leg here, get on it, and then you hold it. If you want to go left, go like this, go right, go like this, now go. And I got threw off so many times to whereas now I don't have any fear of hopping on any animal. You see what I mean? It's a difference in the training and the theory of how they're going to get you to relate to that animal. And then what it taught me was you ain't just going to hop on this animal's back. You better talk to this animal. You better try to make a friend with this animal. You better let him know you're not going to hurt him. Hey, we're going to do this. And it's important that type of connection that you create with that animal is what keeps you on his back. It what keeps him comfortable when you in different situations, because now he's feeling your energy, you're feeling his energy, and you're moving together. But I didn't get told that. It wasn't in the book that they gave me. It was just an instruction: hop on and create your own way to be able to stay on this horse's back. And the only way that I was able to do that was to make that connection. So I was a different type of cowboy, because I got buddies that they rough with it. You can be a ruffian and rough a horse and the acting how you wanted to act, and that just never worked for me. So I always made a bond with the animal. I would talk to the animal. I would groom the animal. I would pet the animal. I would sit there and I would sing to the animal. I would do all kind of stuff with my horses before I actually hopped on their bike.
Do you really think that they like feel that?
Oh yeah, they feel it.
Do they actually choose?
Yeah, they choose. They say, "Oh, I'll let this guy ride. I don't want to let this guy ride." And
they'll buck you off if if they're not feeling it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
But
yeah.
To choose, though, some of the responses from you to get the reaction, what's needed for that, for something that strong, man, it just level you.
Oh yeah, level
to
you.
Just
level
bow down to you and say, okay, you can get on my back.
Yeah, because you would never overpower a horse. You can forget that. I don't care when you see people doing the bareback bronking and doing whatever they do on these horses, you will never overpower a horse. It's physically impossible. It cannot never happen. So you have to create that type of relationship with this animal for you to even be safely traveling on this animal's back. Because you will not say, "Oh, I'm just tougher than this horse," and stay on that animal's back. No, that will never happen.
Well, speaking of that, and I definitely want to dive deeper into the barebacking topic, because that seems like a whole world of difference, you know, in Western riding versus English riding and all that. Clearly, this is all Western riding. But one of the things we were wondering, this is probably a question you must get a lot, and we're going to open up questions to the group here in a minute, is I think as people are watching the documentary, at least I'm thinking like the legalities of riding around in South Central on a horse. Now, through the documentary, you know, you definitely see that at one point you're looking into a tax assessor website. And so obviously you're someone that can think, not litigiously, but can think like, you know, with law in mind. So when you're riding through the streets of LA, do you ever like, what are some of the responses you get from people that are more memorable?
Well, first of all, as far as the legality part of it, it is totally legal to ride a horse in LA. Horses have more rights than any of these vehicles that travel these LA streets. California is still a horse town, you know, especially Los Angeles County. Within anywhere in the Los Angeles County, the horses have the right of way. So you can ride the horse free from any type of scrutiny from any type of law enforcement official inside of LA County. So we're not out there just renegades, just riding these horses and evading the law. That's not what we're doing. When the law enforcement see us, they know that we have the right of way to do exactly what we're doing. We can stop the traffic, we can go through. The horses have that right. And so, but a lot of people don't know that. They think, oh, you have this horse, you know, but the horses have that right. They're just like pedestrians. You feel me? So that's not an issue. You know, we're not out here just renegading, just taking over people's streets. Yeah, that's not happening. You know, yeah.
Seems like an ideal mode of transport. You're not paying high gas prices. You're not, you know, having to pay vehicle insurance. You're not stuck in traffic like we talked about earlier, having to find parking spaces, and you got a friend. So what more could you ask for?
Yeah, but the thing is, I pay more for my horse than I do for my car. I bet.
Let's talk about that.
I pay more for my horse than I do for my car because the horse has to live somewhere. I don't have a ranch. I'm an urban cowboy. I'm in the city, so I got to pay somebody just to have my horse there. So the average stable rent for a horse is going to be anywhere from $250 to $500, depending on the services that you want provided to that animal. And then so that's just that. And then you got to get the horseshoes. Then you got to do the vet bills. Then you got to do the feed. You know, see, so it gets costly. So it's not a cheaper mode of transportation. So it wouldn't be looked at upon. If me driving a horse right now, say I'm driving a Bentley, say I'm driving a Maybach, say I'm doing that, and then having 16 of them on top of that. So it's not a cheap mode of transportation at all. You know, it's a lot of money that's going off up into that just to actually ride that horse down the street.
Wow.
No doubt. That seems like, but it seems worth it in the end though, because you're creating that spiritual connection with another creature that, so it seems like a very rewarding, fulfilling thing that you're doing.
That's all it is. That's all it is. You can't worry about if you get into horses, especially in our environment, it has to be a love that you have, because it's not about the economics, because the economics, you got to have money to do what we do. You know, I know I look like this, but you got to have money.
Ain't nobody judging you, man.
No, he like going the cheapest mode of transportation and everything.
he's like, I go to the thrift store and buy my clothes so I can afford
you know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know.
Hey, Ghuan, another question from me is on the same subject. Is there insurance that you have to have on top of that, or any you know, anything like that to ride in the streets, or just to own the horse or anything?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not mandated by the state, but I do have it because the relationship that I do have with the public and with my animals. So I am heavily insured on all of my livestock, you know, see, so, and then it just covers It just covers everything, cover their safety, cover the people's safety, everybody's safety. And yeah, there is an equine insurance that you can acquire that you put on your animals, especially if you're going to put people on their back and let them ride. You know, you want to have some type of insurance. I got into this back in 2004, the end of 2004. I bought my first horse, Thunderbolt. And I bought this horse and I had the vision of, because when I fell in love with horses, I would ride through the city and I'd be like, oh man, I see the kids and the adults, everybody waving, and I would let people ride, you know? And it was just this one particular moment that let me see that, okay, it's just not just something that I got to think about that I love, but I got to think about the financial responsibility and the legal duty that I have to myself as far as getting the insurance, is because people hop on these animals not knowing what they're going to do, and they might fall off, and they fall off, hit the ground, and then they're not saying it's their fault. They're saying it's your fault. And now they like looking at you. You drove up here with a horse. You drove up here with a horse trailer or a truck. They're like, man, we need some of this money. And I've had them hit me like that, you know. And I was out there at first with no insurance, but I didn't let them know that, you know. And then they was like, okay, whatever. And I had to let stuff go. I had to pay people $200, $300, $400, whatever, because they done did something negligent and fell off that horse. So now, for the last decade or so, I've just been insuring my animals because everybody wants to ride. And if I can't talk you into being responsible for yourself and you do want to hit me, I am covered now. But at first I didn't do that. And then a lot of my cowboy buddies, they don't do that because they only ride their horses. But then people will say, oh, can I ride? Oh, it's such a beautiful animal. Can I get on it? And you say, yeah, get on it. And you say, okay, hold on. And they're like, oh, look at me, girl. Oh. Now they think you owe them some money, you know. Right? For real. JG Wentworth. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? JG Wentworth.
Called JG Wentworth. I'm not the only one here that watches daytime TV.
Yeah,
right. I got caught.
That's dope. Anybody else want to kick in some questions? If not, I will happily continue. I think one of the things that we wanted to talk about too was just your interaction, your responsibility with the community, and also the success moments that came from showing the youth your leadership as a male role model. And if you want to talk a little bit about that, like, and how that kind of segued into you getting involved into Urban Saddles.
Okay. So bring it back, the first part of that question.
Mainly the question is, in the documentary you focus on the kids in your community, what are some success moments that came from showing the youth your leadership as a male role model?
Okay. So now there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going on because our youth, they're actually hungry for a role model, some type of role model. That's why gangs, their application is just, you know, what you see is what you get, and you can join up and you can be this and you can do that. And we look at the drug dealers, we look at the pimps, we're looking at everything where I've come up. When I came up, I wanted to look, I live right next to the biggest hustlers in town. And I just wanted to just be like that. You know, I wanted to do what they did. I wanted to be like that. I wanted to have what they had, do what they did, have the swag, have everything. And what I see as far as what we do, and I can't just, it's just not just as far as saying because you riding a horse, you're a good person. So you can't even say that. You know, that's like saying everybody driving a car is good people. You can't say that part. But the role model part comes from the attributes of the rider that's actually riding that animal. If you see a person that's caring for that animal, and they get there and they got this relationship with the animal, and they're caring for the world around them, and they have this type of code of ethics that they live by and they stand by, and they're going to be true to it no matter what. It's like an unsaid type of curriculum that you're getting because you're seeing it by example. You see what I'm saying? Mm. See, so when I look at my role in that, I never set out to say, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to ride this horse and I'm about to influence my community. I never thought that when I first started riding a horse. I just started riding that horse because I wanted to do it. And I thought it was nice to do, and it was something I always wanted to do, and I rode it. And it was good to ride it and learn to master that horse. And it started to release a lot of energy in me that I had that was gearing to the negative or the stressful side of my being. And once I started to release that and grow into who I became, who I am now, I saw people looking at that. I never thought they were, but they were looking at that. They saw me riding the horse down the street. They saw me getting into the animal, doing what I do. And then you see the adults gravitating towards the fact that, oh, okay, wow, this guy, he's riding horses inside of LA City. This is, you know, he should be doing this. He should be out there on the corner somewhere. He should be popping a Lolo or something. He should be doing whatever, you know, that I should be doing with inside of my society. But they see me embrace it the way that I embraced it and took it and owned it. And it's like, oh, wow, it must be something cool about that. And then they like, oh, wow, it's a whole community of people that's doing the same thing. So it's just not, this dude isn't a weirdo. He's actually part of a culture. Oh, what is this culture about? Oh, let me see. Oh, wow, this culture, families get together. They not tripping. Oh, we got, did he just say blood? Wait a minute. He just said, wait a minute, they here together. Was that a Mexican? Was that a, what they, you understand what I'm saying? They start seeing like, wow, this is a whole community of people with the same ideology of life. Like, okay, we just gonna live this life and we're gonna be true to each other. We're gonna be true to these animals. We're gonna just be true to the environment and the world. And so it was never, ever a course of action like, okay, let's open up a school and we're gonna teach people this. Mm-hmm. It just happened. Mm. See what I'm saying? Because we were just living and we were all learning and embracing the new life that we were actually engaged in at that time.
That sounds amazing. It kind of encompasses all aspects of life as a human being, just kind of like wrapping it all up so you have a focus, a direction, a compass. You know, it's kind of easy to navigate your choices. And it's making me want to make a campfire, sit around, eat a can of beans right now.
Yeah, you know.
So, but it's not, you're not just being an influence here. I mean, it looks like, I mean, you created a nonprofit, right? I mean, it's, and well, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So now I am directly trying to focus that energy and present some type of curriculum to the world. You feel me? You know, see, so now we got a nonprofit called Urban Saddles. And what we do is, our mission is building hope and opportunity for youth and community through the equine experience and the cowboy code of the West. Now, what that means is that everybody is all inclusive. We want to touch the youth. We want to touch their parents, their grandparents, their uncles and aunties. So we utilize the horse as just a way of attracting the public. That's all. Attract them. And we go through different cities as far as Watts, LA, Compton, Southgate, Gardena, you know, so we're hitting these different areas, these different blocks, and they all saying the same thing. And then we get them to come out to this same place because it's all in paying homage to the place that I learned from was the historical hill that you saw inside of that film. And that place, it was like some unsaid rule that none of that gang violence, no racism, none of that stuff was tolerated at that place. That place was set up in the 40s by a white man that allowed blacks, Hispanics, whoever to come up there, Indians, everybody that was segregated against. It was just this big melted pot of people that loved that horse, that equine experience, that cowboy experience. Everybody that loved that, they conjugated at this place. Now it's gone. That's the legacy that I want to continue on in my society, because that's what drew me to that place. And see, so I didn't have that thought when I was going to the place. I was just enjoying the place like everybody else. Mm-hmm. But it was when the place was gone and I started seeing all of my little partners, you know, they falling back into the street. Now they got other influences and this and that. Now this one, oh, you what? You from Broadway? Yo, what? You got this one went to jail. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, huh? You know, that's what brought about the Urban Saddles. So before we were Urban Saddles, we were just a riding club. Just the buddies just riding around, saddle up. We ride around the community and do our things. I had a little pony riding business, let the people ride the ponies. But it really, I couldn't see the effect that we really had on the community, because we provided a space that kids could go to and they could get outside of their environment, within their environment. So they didn't have to run to the moon or Mars or something like that to live a different life. They just go right around the corner. You stay up in here, do this, da-da-da, you're going to be good. Take your butt home, go to school, do your thing, come on back up here, you're going to be good. And what we saw was Bloods, Crips, Serranos, Whites, Black, everybody was getting along at this one place. But when you leave this place, you got all this confusion, all this turbulence going on outside in our society. So when it was gone, and I saw all of the people that I was connected to, you know, go their different ways and certain things happen, I was like, man, we got to have this place back. And then that's what started we got to find this dude, we got to do what we got to do. And that's what the Fire and the Hill thing came through. That didn't come through. So we had to do something. All right, I'm making some of this money. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find a place and we start something. So we started a place out in Southgate. We got a place right off of Imperial and Garfield, and we rented it from the Imperial Equestrian Center. We got a half of the side, and we got a nice barn. We got arenas. We got trails out back, and families come and they conjugate. They learn about the horses. They learn about each other. We got Bloods, Crips, Serranos, Whites, everybody at the same place, realizing that, you know what? We are all people. When they come here and they see the commonality that they share between each other, they start looking at each other differently. They're not so scary anymore. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this person might do the same thing I like to do. This person might do, and you start to see it. And then, you know, it's like this, bro. With what I do, I don't do it for business or anything like that. I do other things for my business. My business, I take from my family and I do from my business to make this go, because this is where my heart lies, because of things, the factors that have happened to me in my life and the things that I want to see transpire in the world. And to see this happen at Urban Saddles and throughout the whole equestrian community, I got to give it up to the equestrian community, because I got the opportunity to, with that film, to travel around the world. We'll go to Indiana, Montana, Canada, Kansas, just all of these different rural settings. I went to where I thought that people that didn't look like me would receive me differently. So it let me see that this transcends not only, you know, where I'm at, it transcends beyond where I'm at. It goes to different communities, the connection that horses and bring to people and the society. It goes way beyond just our urban community. It connects urban to rural communities. I've saw their perceptions be changed by just the life that we live out here in these LA streets. You see what I'm saying? Not only the LA people that live in the LA streets feel like their life could be changed when they see a horse ride down the street, or they just saw a Lolo popping, or where their homeboy just got killed on the street. I ride by so many candlelight visuals in my street. It's crazy. So I know that the visual that we give, you see candlelights where your homeboy just got shot down, and then you see horses ride by. It's like, huh, how is this the dynamic? And it makes them wonder. It makes them think, okay, well, I want to learn about the horse, not just the light.
It's a clear choice, if you ask me.
Choice.
Right.
Hey, sir, I just wanted to touch base with you, ask a few questions. So, and you know this, I'm from San Francisco, so it's a major urban area. So, you know, how were you received when you was riding through your area as a Black cowboy? Because, you know, and I assume it's similar to San Francisco, whereas we don't have that many Black folks riding horses around and cowboys. So I was just wondering about that aspect of it. You know, I know you got some giggles or whatnot, but how did you handle that? Obviously you kept going, so I was just curious about that portion of it.
Yeah, and like, you know, that's a good question, because you do have people that will associate me. You see me right now. You see this cowboy hat. You see how I'm looking. You're like, okay, oh, that's a sell-out Negro. He wants it. His neck is a little dark, but he kind of, I know it's red up under there. You understand what I'm saying? They expect me to hit you with that. You feel me? So they looking at you already like you a little different, or you know, something where you come from. Yeah, I get that all the time. You can't be from LA. Where you from? You from Texas? Where you from? Oklahoma? You can't be from LA.
Now, along with that, you just mentioned that you travel worldwide, right? So when you went to the southern states, the Midwest states, did you see a larger population of Black cowboys down there, like in the southern? What?
No. That shocked me. That really shocked me, brother.
Really?
I didn't see him in Texas. I didn't see him in Colorado. I didn't see him in Wyoming. I didn't see him. That shocked me.
Yeah.
No, it really did. No, that shocked me. I just knew I was going to be greeted, but I wasn't.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that shocked me. That shocked me because, see, the thing is that the world has set it up to believe that Black people shouldn't be doing this. Like I'm like some anomaly or something. But back in the 1800s, or even before then, let's go even before then, back in slavery, the terminology cowboy came because the Blacks were sent out there to rustle those cows on them horses.
Yes.
And the slave owner said, okay, these are my field boys, then my cowboys, then my cotton boys. You understand what I'm saying? We had a place. It was a derogatory term. But when they saw how those brothers was out there handling them horses and rustling them cows and looked like fun, and then you had a brother named Bill Pickett that started the bulldogging and rodeoing and all this other stuff. Like, man, these brothers are having too much damn fun on these damn horses. And then they had the media come off up in play. Then you had your old heroes back in the day. John Wayne. He wanted to learn. He was an actor. Man, I don't want no Negroes on my set. He didn't want no Blacks on his set.
Wow.
But at that time, 1 in 4 cowboys was a Black man. And then the something on top of that was I could go on. I'm not trying to give y'all no history lesson.
No, hey, I wish we could roll with this, y'all.
Hey, Ghuan, exactly what you're saying right now is exactly why we got you on this show, man. What you're saying is very valuable. It's very important. We want to hear what you know about that. So don't stop if you got anything else to say, brother.
Okay, all right, for sure.
Hey, and for the record, my favorite cowboy is Bass Reeves. So I know what you're talking about.
Bass Reeves is who the Lone Ranger was based on. They couldn't show him as a Black man, though.
I know.
He was an ex-slave, an escaped slave that went on to become a U.S. Marshal and had over 3,000 arrests. You feel me?
Used to dress in costume to go get him.
Come on, man. Come on, man. So that's the stuff they don't want to let you know or tell you about. You see what I mean? On the contributions that we have in this culture. You see? Now they got us thinking that all we supposed to do is mumble rap and call up women bitches and hoes and sell some drugs out here on these streets. But that's not what it is. And that's not who we were. And that's not who we are. That's bottom line. So when I go out here like this right now, you see me with this vest? You see this vest right here? Mm-hmm. You know why I got this vest on? Not because I'm holding a traffic sign or nothing. I got this vest on. Y'all ever heard of the company's called Target?
Yeah.
You ever heard of Target Corporation? I build Targets. I build Starbucks. I build Wells Fargo's. That's what I do. I'm a general contractor by trade. But I go like this. I'm building the Target. I just got to build one in Hollywood, California. Hollywood Galaxy, big promotion. I done built so many Targets, this with it, but you wouldn't think that. You see me, I'm supposed to have everybody that's in my position, they got a clipboard, nice tie, this, that, just that. I'm the general super. I'm building. I'm the dude putting the schedule out, this, that. But our little brothers don't get to see that. They don't get to see that that's what we can do too. You see what I'm saying? They don't get to see it because they keep it from you. A lot of times I'm in so many positions where I'm the only black dude there. And not because blacks ain't capable, but because they think that they don't belong in these positions. The same way they don't think that they should have this hat on. The same way they think that they don't belong in this relationship with an animal because it was taken from us. We think we belong in a relationship with the streets. We belong in a relationship with the gangs, the dope, the hoes. Oh, get all the hoes and that's you understand what I'm saying? No, I'm just telling you real, man.
No, that's on the spit. That's real spit. Hey, real quick, can we go back? Because I was gonna ask you about if you were participant or about Bill Pickett Rodeo, because that's how up here, especially in the Bay Area, we did learn about Black cowboys through Bill Pickett's Rodeo. And so we all, I was familiar. And so when, Scribe and everybody said that, we have Urban Saddles in the documentary, I was like, ooh, I gotta holler at my man because of what you just said. These are some things that a lot of our kids aren't experienced on. They don't see it. There's no TV channel that you can turn to. You could turn to VH1 and see Love and Hip Hop.
Exactly.
You can see all the kind of negative types, the arguments and stuff. But you also see a lot more sports and stuff, but you don't see some of the uniqueness that people of color can do, especially riding horses. Brother, look, I love horses. I ain't getting on one, but that wouldn't stop me from telling other people about you because someone else in my family may enjoy riding horses. You know what I mean? And so that's why, it's important that I'm glad you did bring that up on why you gentlemen created Urban Saddles, because it's not just that, people are keeping it from us. It's sometimes we need to get exposed to it. And, come kick. And I tell my students, look, man, I know this is beneficial for you, regardless of how you feel for it. So I'm gonna just, you coming, kicking and screaming, and you're gonna like it. And after you like it, you enjoy it. And then when you enjoy it, you're gonna love it. And then you want to do this motherfucker.
Exactly.
I hear where you're coming from, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hear where you come from. And by the way, real quick, I don't mean to dominate the time. My grandma never knew this, and I'm glad I'm on this. My grandmother, my abuela, she lives down on Van Buren and Normandy and something. That's South Central.
I know what I
would never have thought that there was any horse stables down in that area because, it's getting gentrified. USC is starting to take over stuff.
Yeah.
But I would have never, when you had mentioned the address and, I was going to hit poise with this too, I would have never known that there was stables in that area.
You never known it.
Never known it. So.
And I grew up there. I didn't know about it until I came back, but I grew up in LA my whole life. Didn't know it existed. It was kind of like the hidden secret within the community. I didn't know. That's why when I came back, and I was 29 years old when I came back from the military. Right, left at 18, came back at 29.
Oh, you did 10? Okay.
Yeah, when I came back, I got with an old girlfriend, and she told me this, and it was almost I bet her. I was like, no, you lying. I didn't
Oh.
no, really, I did not believe it. She molded me. We had such a good time. And I've been doing that ever since. I'm not with her no more, but I'm with the horses.
I heard that. Oh.
Some came out of it.
Yeah. She was good for something, damn it. Sorry, Shay Mac. We just kidding. We just funning.
Yeah.
Just funning.
Hey, so Ghuan, is Urban Saddles a place that people can go to without an appointment? Is it open to the public? How does it operate?
Okay, so how it operates right now, we wanted to be a place that everybody could just pop up, but COVID kind of killed that last year.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're on an appointment only basis. You know what I mean? So you got to call me, and I could get a trainer out there to have you come out there to the facility. We don't want it overcrowded. But I saw before we started this, I used to publicize, oh yeah, come out to the barn, and we started getting too many people in the COVID times. It'd be perfect before COVID. Oh man, I'd be loving life, and I'd be, man, this is beautiful. Because we were getting 200, 300 people just showing up.
Wow.
And that's not good when in the environment that we in right now, because you don't know how to separate them. You can't keep the distances. You can't, you know what I mean? See, so and the guy that we leasing from, the owner of the property, he was like, oh no, you can't do this. So we pretty much shut down all of our invites after that, after our last, you know, and we thought, okay, well, maybe we just put it out there for a day or two. But we put it out there for a day or two, still 200 people.
Wow.
Showing up, and it was just too many people, you know. So now it's on an appointment only basis. So that way we can monitor how many people's coming. And we got a cap on how many people we can allow in at a certain time. So we're just operating like that right now.
Okay. How do you make an appointment for that? Do you have a website to go to?
Yes. You can go to urbansaddles.org. And it give you the number, which you'll be in contact with the individual that will schedule the trainers to come out. And more than likely, probably about 100% out of 100% of the time, that person will be me telling you who's going to come out, because this is my telephone number. But yeah, we've been doing it like that, and it's been working pretty good. When things ease up, we'll start letting people just pop up. But right now it's call, make the appointment. If you come and you ride and you like it and it's something that you want to do, you could talk to us about being a member. You can sign up, become a member, and then you don't have to go through all of the protocols. We make everything real affordable for everybody. You know, like I said, this isn't the master plan to get rich plan. This is the master plan to get the community rich in their heart, you see. So we make everything extremely affordable. You know, so don't think, oh, horse riding is that expensive and I can't do it. No, you could do it. You know, we're gonna find a way for you to do it. You got an EBT card? Come on, man. Bring some hot dogs. Yeah. There's some hot dogs and hot legs, some chicken wings, be all right.
Barter system. I'm bringing with me.
Okay. What's the experience like for someone who's visiting Urban Saddle for the first time? Like, what can I expect to experience there?
You're going to experience the whole realm of taking care of a horse. So you're going to come, you're going to do what we call muck in the stalls. That's where you really just picking up doo-doo. So you get to pick up all the doo-doo and then put it in the barrel. Then you get to go and groom the horse and take him out and wash him up, brush him down real good. You learn how to don that saddle the horse up, put the bridle in the horse, and then we'll get you out there and teach you the basics as far as if you're an inexperienced rider, we'll teach you how to actually handle the reins and, you know, how to control the horse, and you get you riding around the arena. And that's our first time experience.
Nice.
That's a lot of work, huh?
Yeah.
She like, hold on.
You got it made. You got it made.
It takes 2 hours.
You got 200 people coming to clean up all the horse doo-doo.
Really did that first, though, right? Yeah, first. Let me tell you the bad news first.
Okay, before we get too far away from Urban Saddles and how to get up in there and meet up with you guys through appointment only, is there also a way to donate on your website? Is that accessible on there?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely. We only survive off of donations right now. So all donations are welcome, especially in these times right now where we're not really doing anything to really trying to generate any money. So if you feel like you want to donate to the horse and keep it going, donate to us to the cause, whatever helps, $1, $2,000, $1, $1 million, whatever you want to do.
Let the law lead you.
Yeah,
let's get those $1 million donations going, man. 1 million, we can do that.
And you said that's urbansaddle.org?
Yes, ma'am. Urbansaddles.org. You can go on there. You can see what we got going on. I'm about to start. And then people that want to donate, if we got any like website professionals out there, they could donate some of that web experience and help us out, and stuff like that. Right now we're just building. Like I say, our organization is a real organic movement. Mm-hmm. This wasn't put together by a bunch of scholars with a curriculum or a bunch of economic majors like, how we can make the big master plan to make this thing make money. None of us are that. We're just people that can care about our community. So, if you have one of those talents and you want to come in and you want to donate some of your expertise on how we can get this thing running a little bit more smoother, because right now we're coming out of our pockets just to do pretty much mostly everything that we do. And we'll continue to do that if we have to, because everybody that's part of the organization is committed to the outcome of the organization and the benefit that we all see that we're receiving right now, which is the community changing,
man, that's Ghuan, that sounds so exciting, man. I'm ready to just like get off of this interview and go down to LA and try it out, man. I'm kind of like her, man. I was never trying to get on a horse, man, but listening to what you said and how important it is to be a part of like an animal's life and the culture that you live in, man, it makes me want to just completely flip and go down there and visit you and get up in there, man. So I'm going to make that a plan. I'm going to keep in touch with you. Yes, I had a question for you that was like for earlier back. What are some of the things that you've done on a horse? Like, for example, how far have you went in your range of what you do on a horse, like racing? You got the rodeo. What do you do, man?
Well, me right now, I do what you call leisure ride.
Oh man, ride.
I do.
Oh man, ride.
Yeah,
my
like
back.
That. Yeah. That's what I do.
Back in the day, though.
Yeah, but back in the day, yeah, I love to race. People say I'm racing all the time now. I just like to ride my horse, let him do what he do. But I will race. I have actually done what you call a relay race, where you actually race around the arena. I've actually done that a couple of times. And but as far as like competing and trying to make the horse make me money as far as competing in sports, that's just not me. But a lot of my buddies, they do that. A lot of my buddies that are part of the organization, we got bull riders, we got ropers, we got team pinners, we got bulldoggers, that actually go out and that's what they do, to make their money. That's their living. That's how they support their families and their dream to go on and make that horse in their life, just rodeo athletics, become part of their actual economic system. And that's just that's not why I'm into it. I got into horses horses really saved my life. I could say I went through equine therapy without the therapist, and the horse was the actual instructor. You see, so that's where I'm at with it, with the horses. They actually changed my whole perceptive of the way I thought. Now I don't think the way that I thought when I was 30 years old. I don't think the way that I thought when I was 18 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
One, that makes you think that this is also a good opportunity for, and I'm sure you've thought of this, but to branch out to like inmate rehabilitation, parolee rehabilitation. Have you ever been approached by, any of that type of arena where you're providing rehabilitation or therapy for, PTSD or, inmates or parolees? Like, is that something that's come up?
Yeah, that's something that we actually do. We just don't do it on the level of what you're speaking of, as far as with any type of government institution where we're involved with them and we provide these type of services to the penal system and this and that. I would like to get into that, and we just got to just investigate on how we can get in there and still maintain who we are. Mm-hmm. But on that same spectrum, that's what we do right now. Most of our volunteers and members, they have had trouble past. Where they came from being incarcerated, wanted to change their life, or change their life, got off of drugs, or change their life, they were in abusive situations, or just depression bothering them. Pretty much a lot of our volunteers and members have overcome these things through the equine experience that we provide, but we're just not attached to any type of government institution. Just recently, this month, we just went and did what you just said. Are we going to register as like a type of therapeutic type of institution or something like that? So we just got our SAMS registration, our cage number, and where we're in the government system to actually get funding to provide those type of services. But we've always been providing those type of services. Like, I got to go back to how the horses helped me, and everybody that I know, the horses have helped them overcome something. We have guys that have been incarcerated, up to like 32 years that I know. And they're out riding horses and not keep their sanity. We have youth that have been in and out of YA that now they ride horses. They ain't trying to go back to no type of incarcerated type of environment. We have, people that are in gangs that they now accept the horse as their gangs, let's say. Something like that. We don't call it gangs. I know other institutions, they call, we gang, but we try to stay away from that to change their mind. We're not a gang. We're an organization where we're trying to actually have you think differently about who you are and your place in this society. So, but that's what we do right now.
Nice. It's amazing that a lot of it's preventative too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, and like you said, you're not like young guns running out in the streets, renegades.
Yeah. Has anybody out there got some questions?
I have a question.
Before you ask your question, I'm sorry, gentlemen. I just want to say it was great talking to y'all. I know I ain't supposed to do this, but I have to go. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, it was great meeting y'all. I hope we could connect again. I wanted to hit you with the educational portion I saw on your website, but I wish I had the time for it. But
yes, sir. All right.
Nice meeting you, gentlemen. All right, Open Game crew members. Talk to y'all later. Have a good one.
All right, Herb. So my question for you was, the owner of the property, the Hill, you were looking for him forever, right? You were trying to get in touch with him, hardly ever could. When did he come around, and what did he have to say for himself for being gone so long?
It was after 7 years. 7 years. I didn't get in contact with that man until after 7 years later. And when he came back, he only came because the city was about to put another fine on him because squatters were squatting on the land. So he came back out there to put a fence around the land. And I had already made friends with all the squatters. So they called me and told me that the owner was down there. And then I came down there, and that's how I got to catch him.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was my question. 7 years, bro.
7 years.
Wow.
7 years, man. When y'all saw that film, we started filming that film in 2011. Then we stopped. It was just, that was the first footage. And then the fire happened in 2012, and it kind of changed the dynamics of where we was going with the film. It's now the mission changed. First, we're just going to bring attention to what we were doing. Then it was like what we were doing was over because they were kicking us up out of this place. And then so we got with Brett Valentine, that's the director of the film. And we thought that we could bring attention to what we were doing, you know, and to get the world activated on trying to see the importance of this place.
It seems like your journey has been very organic to get you here. You know, you had an ex-girlfriend. She, you know, kind of put you onto horses. She, you know, was not a meaningful part of the future, but the horses stayed. Then you start this documentary, you know, thinking you're going in this direction. The fire happens, and you actually are able to get footage for your documentary of like this path that you end up on, and here you are with Urban Saddles out of this whole story. I just think that it's super amazing how everything that you're saying organically happened. You didn't intend to be this person right here doing this with the community, but that was just where you were supposed to be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was not the plan. It was not like, oh, let me develop this now.
That's what makes the story so much more amazing, you know, because everybody in the world loves a great story, and you guys have an amazing story. It's in a community full of amazing stories, and the history of how violent it actually is, and it's completely the other side. You gave everybody an opportunity to see the other side of Compton. I'm not going to go to Compton and wander around and find out what's going on there. So I'm only seeing what people are talking about that do live there, you know, family, friends that been there, live there. And for your story to come out, for you to tell it, and what Chanel was saying, for it to be all organic is just like truly a beautiful, incredible thing to have happen, man. I'm so glad that we had a chance to come across your story and what you did, and for you to bless us, you know, by coming on here, man.
Definitely. Thank you.
Anybody else? Luis, I know that you used to bull ride. You got any questions?
Bull ride? The heck, man? That's at the club in TJ, bro. That was supposed to be between me and you back in the 90s, man.
I didn't say donkey shot, man. I said bull ride. Hey, what's up with the mechanical?
You got the mechanical, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I got a question though. Go ahead, Scribe. I'll go after you.
No, I'm waiting for you guys, man. Go for it.
Oh, okay, cool. So you know, I've worked in a nonprofit setting for quite a while, helped other organizations. 90% of organizations here in San Diego, I've helped when it comes to technology and things of that nature. But I'm kind of curious, after seeing the documentary, I know exactly what you was going through in terms of finding supporters. You know, everybody normally doesn't want to help when there's nothing to show and prove, or to show them what you're trying to do, and you're trying to explain it and nobody wants to listen. And then when it's all built, now you have like an abundance of help, right? But the idea is, my question is regarding what kind of challenges are you currently having within the organization or within your mission to, you know, for what you want to achieve. Just because I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to, like, I mean, earlier you talked about website and things of that nature, but that's easy. Now, the idea when it comes down to other challenges, what are you facing currently? You know, for that, you know, maybe someone can hear it and be like, oh, I can help you out with that.
Well, right now, the biggest challenge that we have right now would be the securing financial security for the organization. Because right now, every month, you know, we got to scramble and try to just handle the bills to make it go, you know. And everybody that's part of the organization, I love them to death because they're working on a volunteer basis and just dedicating their time and energy and effort to it. And a lot of times even money, you know. And so we can have it to where the organization just took care of itself. That's our biggest obstacle. Actually, that's our goal for this year, to end this year where the organization is actually financially set to just handle the organization, you know. Yeah, and I would say that's the biggest challenge that we face right now, because up until now and since its conception, it's just been pretty much a financial, I don't want to say burden, but a financial obligation, you know, to us to just keep it going. You know,
well, on that note, we're hoping that this can provide an opportunity for many people, or at least people that get to watch this, to get involved, get organized, and donate as well. So we're hoping this can be somewhat of a platform to showcase what you have to offer. And we know we ran over time, so we just want to maybe close up here and respect your time, especially. If anybody else has any last closing thoughts, maybe we can drop that in now.
Absolutely. I want to say thank you. I was educated. I was inspired. And I really just appreciate your journey and your purpose and your movement. I promise you, it's awesome to see Black men doing exactly what they say we can't do. And I'm so happy to see that and now be a part of, you know, this and be able to speak with you. It's not very often that you get to see a dope ass documentary and actually talk to the person that's in it. Right. This is the first time in my life that I've had that opportunity. So I'm super grateful. And I wanted to say thank you so much.
Thank you.
And also, there was a bit of synchronicity this past weekend. I told Scrabble about this. You know, I have you know, been around ranchero cowboys, you know, because my family comes from Texas, from Mexico. And then in Mexico, we have cowboys and ranches and, you know, cattle and horses and all that. But it was, you know, in terms of the Black cowboy, I have very little knowledge and history about that. And then so the movie on Netflix, I don't know if you've caught it yet, but it's Concrete Cowboy. It came out.
That movie, I wanted to say something about that too, but you're right.
Yeah, and so that's like the East Coast, and you guys are like the West Coast. So I'm like thinking like, yo, I got like so much information just in the past few days, and it's been really, you know, awesome in the sense of like, you know, being able to look into another culture that I've never known about. So that's pretty dope. And so I just wanted to mention that because I think it can help a lot of youth in terms of trying to find you guys. You know, I mean, it's coming from like a Hollywood standpoint, and that's what the youth kind of pay attention to, you know?
Oh yeah. They reached out to us. Netflix actually just reached out to us last month. Then we did a segment. I sent it to Scribe, they did a little segment on us because we are the real actual concrete cowboys, you know, riding around in the city that you see in that film. And we are friends with the Fletcher Street Cowboys, who that story is based on. And our story is very similar to theirs. You know, this has been going on. Yeah, very similar. You know, this has been going on in LA like for decades, literally, where you've had black cowboys in this little central area. So it's really good to see it depicted on film and come out and show that, you know, you do have black cowboys in the urban setting. And I would say all throughout the nation, because that's the East Coast. We're on the West Coast. And I know a lot of them in the middle that's doing the most, you know. See, so.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's super fresh, man. Hey, does anybody have that last question? Boys, you had anything extra?
Yeah, it wasn't really a question. Well, actually it was, but I'm glad the brother answered it so in depth for the people that are going to watch and the people that are watching now. I had wanted to ask a question earlier about the impact of what it is that you're doing and the depth of what you're doing. And to simplify that, you answered it many times over. You understand that how this happened organically, and now the position that you're in, and just the pure, once you understood how much that place was needed, you know, after it burned down, and you was like, no, we got to have this back. That's like superhero type stuff, bro. You know, so I'm so honored that you understand. It's not about the paperwork, even though you're getting some paperwork, you know, to have that as a title for the therapy part of it, but the part that you've already been doing that and you understand what you're doing, bro, you're not only changing lives, you have created your own lane. You know, what's bigger than that, bro? You have your own lane. After you're gone, this is still going to carry on. Yeah. So I just want to give you your flowers now, bro. I also want to talk to you, you know, later on. We got a lot in common. I'm from LA and I got stories, bro, and I can relate to you with the movie. I even knew somebody in your movie, and I don't want to talk to you about that on here. But yeah, and knowing where you're coming from, I got family from Compton. I got a good friend named Troy Williams, who used to be from Palmer Block, and his dad had horses, you know. So yeah. I was trying to find a picture of me on a horse, but I couldn't get logged in, and that threw me off. But yeah, I wanted to be sitting on a horse, you know, when I came in. But bro, it's really big. The disciplining part of the movie also, you know, watching the things that you have to do, that builds not only character, physical strength, but it builds spiritual strength. And then the spiritual aspect of the connection with any animals, you know, understanding how serious that is when people are in comas. You know, sometimes you can come bring a cat and set it on their bed and they come up out of a coma, you know, so understanding that connection with nature, bro, it's you're bigger than the movie, and not just to be hitting you with, you know, I'm not trying to butter you up, but bro, this is bigger than the movie, is bigger than the movement. You're doing a real connection to humans. You're changing lives, bro. You're giving vision. You know, growing up where we grow up and all we see is dirt and trash and, you know, low riders and just loud noises and all that. And then going out somewhere, like when we used to go camping, I understand what that does to a person. You know, it reconnects you. So, bro, I just want to give you your flowers. I'm all for you, bro. I'm proud of you, and it's a pleasure meeting you. And I want to thank you for sharing your story, not only with us, but for hundreds and thousands and hopefully millions of people that's going to continue to watch this film and continue to follow up on your story.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Boys, can I chime in behind you?
Oh, definitely.
My question would be, who are you to yourself? And what type of man just see something and say, nothing is right, and I have no support, but I'm just gonna get in this truck and start moving these boulders?
That one right there is like, it's like this. When you seen, the brother just said it, growing up where we come from. And I've been blessed to be able to join the military, and they send me around the world, and I get to see different cultures and how they relate to each other, and just how they live. And when I came back here, you know, I realized that I'm a man without a culture. I'm a man without traditions. I'm a man without a home country. I'm a man without a home language. I'm American, but I'm called a Black American to show the difference. And once I realized that, I was lost. And I always had this void in me, like, why? Why was I born in the situation that I was born in? I always felt like, you know, I'm a bastard child. I'm the grandson of a pastor whose daughter got pregnant when she shouldn't have. Ostracized, born in Pennsylvania. We had to move to LA as a child because, like I just say, you know, I was the bastard child, you know, the embarrassment to the family, and raised as such my whole life though. Stepchild, mom get married, introduced my whole life as the other child. My stepfather be like, oh, that's my son, Alex, that's my daughter, Lisa, that's my daughter, Shalon. Oh, that's Val's son, Ghuan. Always ostracized, always set out, influenced by the streets. First time I got arrested, I was 8. Next time I was 13. Next time I was 16. I just seen so much in my life that made me question who I was as an individual. Went to the military, got to see different things, and it just showed me that I really didn't know who I was as an individual. I was always just in place, you know, doing this, doing that, doing that. And the horse really saved my mind, you know. It really saved my mind. It made me start looking at everything differently as far as the people I encountered, why I encountered them, why I'm doing this, why I did. I started looking at everything so different because I had to understand it, because I didn't understand myself. And now I do. Now I do. Now I know that I'm not moved by money no more. My whole mission, my whole nickname, that's one thing I got to tell y'all too. And a lot of people that might know me as a child, since I was a child, my nickname was G Money. I stopped going by the name of G Money when I turned 30 years old, but they know me around the world as G Money, G Money. You know what I'm saying? So I had that name, that persona, this, that, because I didn't know no better, didn't know nothing else. It was always about chasing money. But what chasing money did for me was had me lose my 2 oldest kids. Had a mama not wanting to have nothing to do with me. Had me lost in a position to where it's like, okay, well, damn, I don't have my kids no more because I was chasing this money, chasing who I thought I was supposed to be. And when I got into riding the horses, it just let me just get back into myself. I started creating again. I started making music again. I started writing poetry again. I started drawing again. I got back off up into myself. And so now I only do things that I like doing. I just told you I build targets and all this other stuff, but that's because I like doing it. I don't have a job. I have hobbies. It'd be tripping people out when they say, let's do this, building this big old building. I got to plan this shit out for 2 years to get it built. But it's still a hobby. When I make a song, it's a hobby. When I ride a horse, it's a hobby. I do things that make me feel good. And I want to actually put that out to the people that I embrace and have them feel good about the life that they live. Do things that make you feel good. We only on this earth for a second, you know, just a second. Life is gone. You don't want to live this life doing what you didn't want to do.
Stuck in a cubicle somewhere.
Right. Yeah, stuck in a cubicle somewhere. Just that, here. You know, and that's the cold part about it. Yeah, you stuck in your mind. Cubicle. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you just rule by money, making money, you won't find no happiness. That's why you see so many millionaires killing themselves, committing suicide, or taking drugs, overdose. They still not happy, so they need this artificial synthetic high to make them feel something that they're not feeling. You got all the money in the world, you can do whatever you want, but you still need to put this stuff in you to have you. You see, because you're not happy internally. So I dedicated from 30 on. I got to dedicate my life to be internally happy. Being that force. And what makes me internally happy is doing things I love doing and seeing the people that I embrace just as happy as I am. And that's what I do. And that's how I live my life. And I keep everything going. They keep me building buildings, keep me making music, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Hey, Ghuan, speaking of music, man, what we're going to do is we're going to end this episode by giving a super big, much appreciated thank you for coming and joining us for this episode 8 of Open Game. Man, we really respect what you're doing. It's on a whole different level, man. You're a special dude, man. Keep doing what you're doing, because it ain't me saying it that makes you that. It's you. It's all you, man. We just having a chance to cross paths with you. So thank you for that. And what I wanted to do was say, hey, we got Big Will sitting right next to you. Is Pharaoh still in the house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Brother Pharaoh's there. Big thank you to Poise and Big Will for bringing you to us to have this interview. And just to roll out, man, we want to say that we want to do a part 2, because you talking about music, man. You doing music. I tried to look you up and see if I could find some stuff, man, and I didn't find anything. So what we want to do is we want to get you back and find out what you guys are doing. You all connected, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the thing, Scribe. If you look me up, you can't look up Ghuan. You gotta look up XM Skills.
I got you. I got you right now. I'm on your playlist right now.
Oh, that's exactly.
Always got you. Scribe, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna talk to Poise, man.
I got him right on like in. So you good. Thank you, bro.
I'm gonna connect, man. I'm gonna see what's going on. We about to listen to some music, talk about it, and then we're gonna get you back on for a part 2. You know, so you guys can get on with the rest of your day, man. But I want to thank you, Big Will, for being a part of this, man. And Pharaoh, where you at, man? Show yourself real quick.
Hey,
tell us your whole name, Pharaoh. What is it, Pharaoh? Pharaoh, what?
No, I was trying to say I done seen all of y'all on the past episodes. Y'all like stars to me. Oh, you too. I done seen you before.
Exactly.
We just the facilitators, man. We just the conduit. You guys are the electricity, man. We appreciate you all. Much love for what you're doing, man. And I promise you, I'm gonna hit you up, Ghuan, because as soon as that opens up and there's an opportunity, I want to come down and visit you. And that'll be historically the first time Scribe Sarah ever got on a horse, man.
All right. I'm gonna be here.
We gotta make Scribe. We're gonna make Scribe go bareback first thing.
I'm down. Let's do it the real way, man. I'm down.
Don't tell him that, because he might try to go bareback later on tonight.
Put a raincoat on.
Yeah, don't tell him that.
Hey, we got children in the house.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, so y'all listening to Open Game episode 8. This is Elders of the Block, man. And Ghuan Featherstone was our feature interviewee, man. Special guest. Thank you guys so much, man. We appreciate you. Love you guys. Keep yourself safe and productive down here in LA. Yeah.
Peace.